Oh my goodness. The trade deadline is heating up. Are you kidding me right now? Anthony Davis on the move once again to the Washington Wizards? What is going on? The NBA trade deadline is heating up, and we just keep on waiting for the moment. And whether the Lakers are going to make a move or are they going to stay put and wait until the offseason. And the Lakers last night got a big time win against the Brooklyn Nets. They went out there, and I'm sorry, let me just tell you straight up. The Brooklyn Nets, they are a bad basketball team. Just gotta go straight up with that. However, Austin Reaves is back in the lineup. That's another good sign, another good look for the Lakers. What adjustments are they going to be able to make? And of course, James Harden news still. Giannis Antetokounmpo, all these different types of things for this NBA trade deadline week. It is exciting. This is one of the most best times of any sporting event that we are witnessing. Trade deadline week is only going to get better. Remember, it does not end until tomorrow. It's only going to be more moves that are going to be happening. Before we get into all of that, I got to talk to you guys about my partners at Pechanga Resort Casino. And you can play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. So before we get into the AD business, before we talk about what could happen with the Los Angeles Clippers and what their plan is, before we talk about Giannis, because I know everyone's getting tired about hearing the Giannis news and stuff like that, but there's some very interesting stuff. In regards to the Giannis news, that could get the Lakers into business with a certain player. We'll talk about all that, but let's touch on Austin Reaves' return against the Brooklyn Nets. Look, was he a little sluggish? Yes, he's got to get his feet back underneath him. He's got to get back into his shot selection. He's got to get back into the right footwork, all those different types of things, all those different types of mechanics. He's going to figure out his rhythm. Remember, he played 21 minutes, but he scored 15 points, 3 of 9 shooting. Okay. But this is why the Lakers, I get it, it's the Brooklyn Nets. Why the hell are we talking about the Brooklyn Nets? But this is what the Lakers needed to see. We have not seen LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves on the same court. I believe this is their 9th game on the basketball court together. And I know we saw glimpses of it. Austin Reaves did not start with them. Again, ramping him up, getting him back to the right way in order for him to take on the much-needed workload that the Lakers are going to need from Austin Reaves. But you saw a difference. You saw a difference in the offense. Remember these past couple of games, what did the New York Knicks do as soon as Luka Doncic was crossing half court or coming off a pick and roll? What the hell did they do? Double team, forcing other guys to beat them. Because remember, there's moments where Luka's on the court with LeBron James off the court. So then you look at it, where are you getting your other scoring from? Who else is going to be able to put the ball on the floor and create opportunities for others? Vanderbilt's not going to do that. Gabe Vincent's not going to do that. LaRavia, moments can do that. Marcus Smart has gotten better. Remember, Marcus Smart, we weren't even considering him being a starter. His role was supposed to be a guy coming off the bench, providing much needed energy on the defensive end of the basketball court. So now what happens? I get it. It's the Brooklyn Nets. Once again, I'm going to keep on stressing that. It's the Brooklyn Nets. It's going to look a little different once the Lakers play against tougher opponents, especially through these next couple of games on their homestand that they got going on. You got to see those opponents that the Lakers that's coming into town to face the LA Lakers. But you already see a little bit of a difference. Guess what happens when you throw Austin Reaves in the mix on the same basketball court with Luka Doncic? The offense all of a sudden is open. Because guess what? If you double team Luka Doncic, what happens? You got to kick the ball out, and he's able to swing it to Austin Reaves. And what is Austin Reaves being able to do? He's able to create his own shot. He does a great job of getting to the free throw line. All of a sudden, the Lakers offense can have a little bit more of a movement. Not just stand and watch one guy go one-on-one. The teams are going to have to switch up their defensive style. They're going to have to switch up their scouting report because Austin Reaves hasn't been a proven scorer. That's why we have been waiting to see what this Lakers team could look like. Again, only playing 20 minutes. He's still on minutes restriction. I guarantee he's going to be on minutes restriction comes tomorrow. It's a ramp-up period. I was getting worried because we were waiting to see when he was going to return during the 8 game road trip, and all we were seeing is questionable. And then all of a sudden he's ruled out. Questionable. All of a sudden he's ruled out. And it got to the point where is there something that we do not know that is lingering still with Austin Reaves' calf? Is there something more serious? Is he possibly not going to return until after the All-Star break? Why go out there and make these reports that he is set to return at some point during that 8 game road trip? There was a lot of concerns going in for myself because I'm like, if he's not going to play in last night's game against the Brooklyn Nets, then there's something more serious to his injury that's keeping him out. That was a worry. I'm not gonna lie, that was just how my mind was working. But it was good to see him out on the basketball court. It was good to see him actually give a different look for the Lakers. Remember, you see what he did? Being able to push the rock, being able to push it up, throwing off the backboard of LeBron James. LeBron James, all of a sudden, not saying all of a sudden, but he had a little bit more energy. Was it me or he had like a little bit more energy in last night's game, knowing that he's got his other all-star scorer. You add 3 of them to the mix, now this offense is going to take an even bigger leap. And I'm a true believer in that. I'm not saying that they're going to go out there and beat a lot of these teams, but you add Austin Reaves back in the mix, the other teams have no choice but to switch up their defense. They can't rely on double teaming on Luka Doncic and just trying to make Austin Reaves beat them or make LeBron James beat them. The Lakers are going to figure out ways to score. That's why we have been waiting to see what this team could look like with Austin Reaves. And honestly, we have to take in consideration what does this Lakers team look like with Austin Reaves. You saw moments when they played against better opponents, the Cavaliers, the Clippers, the New York Knicks. You saw that once the Lakers couldn't figure out other ways to score, they went into a hole. They couldn't dig themselves out of the hole. That's what they were missing. Lakers were able to stay afloat with Austin Reaves being out of lineup. Remember, they finished out their 8 game road trip 5-3. Good. We wish they would have beaten better opponents in that 8 game road trip, but they were able to remain afloat and stay a little bit consistent with Austin Reaves back in the lineup. We have to be excited about this. Hopefully, the injury bug does not hit this Lakers team because injuries have been taking a toll on this team since the beginning of the season. Now let's see if they can stay healthy after the All-Star break. All those different things are going to come into play, but it was a beautiful thing to kind of see a little glimpse of what this team could look like when you add another scorer into the mix, a guy that can create his own shot, create for others. The workload for Luka and LeBron is a lot better. So that's where we are at with Austin Reaves back in the mix. And that's all I want to dive in as far as that game last night, because once again, the Brooklyn Nets are not a good basketball team. I'm glad the Lakers finished off their 8 game road trip with a W. It was a very, very beautiful thing to witness them go out there and punch them in the mouth right away, because we know what this Lakers team does. They always stick around and they always let teams hang around. So that's where we are at. But now, with this trade deadline, with all the stuff coming in, I want to dive into the James Harden aspect. Our good friend, Brian Windhorst, Windy Wednesdays. You already know the deal when you listen to the Sedano and Cat Morning Show. And we saw the news with James Harden. We've seen him get traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. We've seen what Darius Garland being swapped for him for. We've seen what all that looks like. So now you ask yourself, what the hell does this got to do with the Lakers? Why do we care about James Harden going to the Cavs? Why do we care about Darius Garland going to the Clippers? Well, you listen to some comments that were being made from James Harden. He was asked about it from our other friend, Ramona Shelburne, asking him, hey, did you act? I'm paraphrasing here. Remember, I'm paraphrasing. As far as him, reports going out there of him actually requesting a trade and all these different types of things that he was trying to force his way out and it's time for him to move on. Okay, listen to this. Now, hear me out here. Hear me out. Him saying that, no, me and the Clippers are on the same mindset. We understand that they're trying to get into a little bit of rebuild mode, and I'm just trying to do my part in helping them start that rebuilding mode process now. Him going to a contender like the Cleveland Cavaliers works in his favor. The Clippers getting Darius Garland works in their favor because he's only 26 years old. They can start a little bit of a rebuild process now. So then what does that mean if the Clippers are trying to get into this rebuilding process? Could that possibly mean that others are going to be on the move? It's weird that you think about that, just the way the Clippers have been playing. But I'm hearing Wendy's comments and saying that if the Clippers are, if that's what we try to believe, if that's what we believe James Harden word, and we're taking his word for it, and if the Clippers are trying to start the rebuilding process now, because their plans, all you've been hearing is 2027. This is where I'm spinning it to the Lakers. Could we possibly see guys on that other on the team getting offloaded? Meaning Big Zoo. Could we see a reunion with Big Zoo with the Lakers? Probably not during the trade deadline, but maybe in this offseason. Could that be a move where the Lakers could make in the offseason? Could that align with Luka Doncic? We already know how Lakers fans feel about Big Zoo and how his impact has been and how much better he has gotten ever since the Lakers traded him away. Carrying him up next to Luka Doncic, could that be the ideal big man? I do believe Big Zoo could possibly be available in this offseason for the Lakers. And that's where it aligns with what I have to say. You don't know what's going to happen during the offseason. You might have a chance to stay put and be able to get your hands into something like that. That could be other ways where Lakers could acquire different types of players. I know everyone does not like the buyout market. I know everyone says the buyout market is whack, all those different types of things. But that could be another way where the Lakers could acquire certain players. Big Zoo is a certified big man in this league. He is a walking double-double. He is always active. His size is always there. He's a great rebounder. He's got soft touch around the rim. He is one of those good back-to-basket big men. Good hook shot. And he's always in the right spot when he rolls. I know it's not an ideal lob threat for Luka Doncic, but still, you can see him paired up with Luka Doncic and rolling to the right spots, them actually being in sync compared to certain games where DeAndre Ayton floats around, he doesn't roll to the necessary spot. Jackson Hayes, you can only play him in certain minutes. That's where we have to tell ourselves. If the Lakers want to try to acquire a big man, that's a possibility. So that's why this James Harden trade is kind of ties in with the Lakers, because what are the Lakers' chances of acquiring someone and getting someone like that if the Clippers are willing to offload some of these guys, if the Clippers are willing to get into rebuilding mode? Could we see a lot of other names that Lakers could try to get if the Clippers are willing to get rid of some of these guys to build the necessary cap space and enter that rebuilding mode that everyone, well, James Harden is pretty much saying as far as the reason why he was being traded or wanted to be traded is because he wanted to help them out start their process now. So that's where I tie in that. Wendy said to himself, he didn't say it's going to happen. Remember that. It's a possibility that we could see them paired up and a return with Vita Zubac. Let me know what you guys think about that. A possibility of Big Zoo returning to the Lakers. Him, and you know him as far as his history with how he's been ever since he's been without the Lakers. Also, I know it just came to my mind. I know I talked about Nick Claxton a lot. I know I talked about how, I do believe if the Lakers were willing to get rid of, he's a draft pick. Nick Claxton could be that guy. After watching that game, and the Brooklyn Nets are not a good basketball team, so it's kind of hard to put him in the right spots, the right situations. I was kind of hoping to see if his Lakers audition could be a real thing. He was into foul trouble. He was out of position a lot. Really wasn't that effective on the basketball court. He's not really a good free throw shooter. That's where I'm at right now. And I said it. I do believe Nick Claxton is still a good asset, a good player. After witnessing that game last night, I do believe it's because the Brooklyn Nets are a bad basketball team. But after watching that, that's what just proves my stance once again. Just be patient, wait it out through the trade deadline, and waiting to see what happens in the offseason. So now we got more stuff to get into. There's more trades that are happening, more stuff that has been linked possibly to the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll talk about all that right after that. My partner, Zach Pachanga, give you guys a quick word.
At Pechanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your
Hey, maybe we could put up a poll
at Pechanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
I don't know if you guys heard me. What is going on, y'all? We're back with Lakers Talk Daily. Wow. I can't believe this. Let me read this to you guys. Because it happened, of course, right before Lakers Talk Daily. Shout out to you, Shams. I really appreciate you doing this. Breaking news. The Dallas Mavericks are trading 10-time All-Star Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards for Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III. Man, that brother's been on a journey as well. 2 first-round picks and three second rounders. This goes to tell you, at the end of the day, guess who won the trade? The Los Angeles Lakers won the trade. Anthony Davis, as soon as he got traded, he was relatively healthy before he got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. And then what happens when they got that Mavericks acquired him? We saw one good game with him next to Kyrie Irving. I know the injury bug has hit the Dallas Mavericks as well. We never truly seen what that could look like, both of them on the basketball court. It looked good to those couple minutes. Then Kyrie gets out, Anthony Davis ends up getting hurt. But this just goes to show you how much we still got to thank Nico Harrison for making a deal like that, and the Lakers are getting a generational superstar like Luka Doncic. Because guess what? There is a promise with Luka Doncic. You look at Anthony Davis; he is on the move once again. Once again, he is on the move. He's still not healthy. We're probably not going to see him the rest of this season. It's going to be a waiting process like they're going to be doing with Trae Young. Credit to the Wizards of pairing up Trae Young with Anthony Davis. That could be something interesting that we can see. Shout out to the Wizards for that. But this just goes to show you at the end of the day, the Los Angeles Lakers won the deal. That was the best move they could possibly make. Best move that they can possibly make is getting Luka Doncic. And the fact that he's on the move and he started off and he's going to a franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers, historic franchise, all about success and championships. I know that's not the case right now, but the Lakers are going to get to that point again. I truly, truly believe that. Going from the Lakers to the Mavericks to the Wizards, just like that, just go to show you Anthony Davis. There's a lot of values that teams are not really starting to value Anthony Davis. Again, promising with the Wizards young core, and you add him with Trae Young, that's going to be another interesting thing that we're going to see. But look what the Lakers have in store. Look what the Lakers have. Luka Doncic, they have a promise they can build around him, a proper plan. There is no real proper plan with Anthony Davis. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if the Lakers are still dealing with Anthony Davis? What would have been their getaway to get another superstar? What could they have done at this point now if Anthony Davis was on this team still, along with LeBron and Austin Reaves? What could have been the Lakers' plan? Lakers actually have a plan. They have something that they can look forward to for the foreseeable future. If they still had Anthony Davis, who knows what would have happened with this Lakers team and how the roster could truly been constructed. Simple as that. I am very, very grateful, and we should all be very, very thankful that the Lakers were able to transition off of him. And look, and once again, D'Angelo Russell's on the move again. Just goes to show you that the Lakers did what they necessarily needed to do at that deadline and moving on from him. It was okay at the time, and we've got to be very thankful that Luka Doncic being on this Lakers team. So then I'm going to transition into some more stuff. So we got the Giannis Antetokounmpo news. We seen the trade that went down, and it happened at the end of Lakers Talk Daily. As far as the Chicago Bulls trading for Mike Conley, the Minnesota Timberwolves trading Mike Conley, Jaden Ivey going to the Chicago Bulls, and then Kevin Huerter going to the Pistons because the Pistons needed a shooter. So you think about all this different types of stuff. And then I didn't think about it at first. I'm like, why the hell are the Timberwolves getting rid of Mike Conley? Okay, created some space for them. They created some space. The Timberwolves created some space by getting rid of Mike Conley Jr. Okay. I'm like, okay, why are they doing that? He's a veteran point guard, well established in the league. He's got playoff experience. He can be a big help for the Timberwolves when they try to make that playoff run. Then I look at it. Okay. News kept on coming out of Giannis possibly going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then can you imagine if Giannis was able to pair up with Anthony Edwards? That's going to be in the Lakers' way. Two guys like that next to each other on the basketball court. That is going to be a team that's going to create problems for the Lakers for the foreseeable future. I hope that's not the case. And I hope that the Lakers, that just goes to show you the Lakers possibly will not be in the Giannis sweepstakes, that he could possibly be going to the Timberwolves. Again, this is all speculation. So then this is another interesting thing as far as, okay, The Warriors and Draymond Green coming out after the game. We saw the reports that the Warriors are going to be putting him on the trade block. You know, like, really? Draymond Green has been on the Golden State Warriors for his entire career. Why trade Draymond Green? Oh, there's a reason why. Golden State could possibly try to get into the Giannis sweepstakes. Okay, so this is how it ties in with the Lakers. Okay, Draymond Green coming out there after post game and saying, "Yeah, you know, the reports are true. You know, I could possibly be on the move. This could be my last year with the Golden State Warriors. If it is, it's been one hell of a run. I'm very grateful for the Golden State Warriors organization. So if the Warriors are able to get into the Giannis sweepstakes and they're able to acquire him, okay, and say if Draymond ends up going to Milwaukee, Milwaukee is not going to keep Draymond Green because their goal is what? Rebuild, get draft picks, get different assets to be able to offload from to create a different salary cap and be able to look to build a team, which I don't know who their guy they're going to try to build around, but they're going to be in full rebuilding mode. Okay. So then Draymond Green, what happens if he gets bought out? Could that be him linked to the Lakers? Possibly so. Then I go to show you. Draymond is very he highly respects LeBron James. LeBron James respects Draymond Green. Draymond Green, as much as people dislike him, his antics and stuff he does on the basketball court, you know what Draymond Green could add to a Lakers team? That fieriness, that competitiveness, that championship experience. He exerts a lot of energy on the defensive end of the floor. I know he's on the older side of his career. I know he possibly can't help much on the offensive end when it comes to the scoring. But you know what Draymond Green can do? Bring the ball up. What could that lead to? Luka Doncic playing off the ball more. What else could that lead to? Austin Reaves playing off the ball more. Okay. Draymond Green could play in a role where he doesn't have to be the 5-man like he has been doing for the Golden State Warriors. He can play in that 4-man. Okay. He can play in that power forward position. He can kind of pair alongside Draymond Green, or DeAndre Ayton. Again, this is just adding a veteran to a veteran team like LeBron. Okay. Could that be a possibility? Yeah, possibly so. And you know what Draymond Green is going to do? He's going to be on DeAndre Ayton's ass every single time. Again, if he were acquired during the trade deadline or in the offseason. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what's going to happen with all these different things that the Lakers could potentially do during the trade deadline or this offseason. Different players getting offloaded from, different buyout market, all these different types of things the Lakers could potentially try to acquire a piece. And I know it doesn't make sense they get Draymond Green right now because I don't believe that this team can significantly get into that leap and compete with teams in the Western Conference. I truly get that and I understand why you guys are saying. But then you got to also think about the other factor. And shout out Brian in the YouTube chat, B Kush, saying, hell no. Green and Luca crying all day to the refs, no thanks. Yeah, you're going to get that a lot. Brian, you're going to get that a lot. Him complaining and, you know, all that stuff to the referees, you're going to get that a lot. And then you think about it, Draymond Green really can't shoot right now. Whatever the Lakers struggle with, shooting. So the only reason why I would even consider this deal is just him being that veteran, him being able to play certain minutes in certain ideal situations, and him being able to be a good defender, because he is a good defender, and he does exert more of the energy on the basketball court. Possibly. I know. It does not sound realistic. It does not sound ideal, especially with what have we always been saying. You need to pair someone. If you're going to acquire somebody, you need to pair him up in the Luka Doncic timeline. So that's why I'm kind of scooting back from the Draymond Green noise. That's why I'm kind of like, okay, let me fall back. Because at this point of his career, don't know. I do not know. But that's why it's very interesting to be on the lookout of where Giannis is going to go. Because if he comes to the Western Conference, guess what? It's only going to create problems for the Lakers, especially if he's paired up next to Stephen Curry, or especially if he's paired up next to a young all-star and Anthony Edwards. It's going to be problems that the Lakers are going to have to face. Another team that's going to be in the Lakers' way of trying to potentially get a championship. So hearing all this stuff, I don't think the Lakers are generally going to be in the Giannis sweepstakes. So that's why I had to bring it up once more. So you look at all these names, okay? Harden being on the move, okay? But Clippers offloading. Lakers possibly can acquire Zubac going into the offseason, okay? They look at Giannis. If he goes to Golden State, the Warriors are going to send him to Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Bucks most likely could potentially buy him out. Then he's going to be on a vet minimum. Could that be another move for the Lakers to acquire? Possibly so, okay? But this all just ties up, and guess what? Do not do anything. I don't see a real move right now for the Lakers that can potentially make them championship contenders. The trade deadline is heating up. I was very, very shocked with the Anthony Davis news. Lakers won that trade. It's only going to get more, and I'm so glad that trade deadline is happening right here on Lakers Talk Daily, because there's going to be more guys that possibly will be on the move, and we look at it like, oh, no way. But I guarantee you, the Lakers could possibly make a move by the way other teams make a move. They can be that third team to enter in. They can acquire someone that teams are trying to create salary cap space for. Think about it. This is another name. This is just me speaking, okay? Or Jaren Jackson Jr. be on the move. John Morant possibly on the move. Where does that lead? KCP, could he be on the move? Because why the hell would he want to be in a rebuilding mode? Could we possibly see him being bought out and Lakers potentially enter that sweepstakes? We do not know. But they just go to show you. That's why you have to kind of watch what other teams are doing, because that can be a way for the Lakers to make a move if they wanted to right now. Right now. That is why it's very important to look at all these different trades. And hopefully, let's see what Rob Pelinka is going to cook up, and let's see what he does. If he doesn't make a move, wow, good. Because now that's going to tell you that this possibly is a gap year for the Lakers, and they are waiting for the offseason and seeing what LeBron James is going to do. And you can actually have the right and the leeway to build around Luka Doncic. Lakers got a good win against the Brooklyn Nets. Austin Reaves is back. Started to see a little difference with that team. You started to see the offense start to develop. Lakers are still going to have to find ways and figure out how they can be better on the defensive end of the basketball court. And guess what? They can start that again come tomorrow against the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia 76ers will be in town. The Lakers' next couple of games are going to be brutal. I believe they got the Sixers, Golden State, OKC, and San Antonio. It's only going to get more difficult before the All-Star break hits. I'm going to keep on doing these different trade scenarios, and I want you guys to give me your opinions in the YouTube chat. I'm going to be active in there come trade deadline. I will read your responses. Lakers, Sixers, let's see if they can keep on stacking some wins. Let's see if they make a move come NBA trade deadline that ends tomorrow. But as always, for myself and the social team in the back, I truly, truly appreciate you guys tuning in. We out.